place is Deadrock, a town that keeps to itself, where the streets aren't dusty and the people don't smile much, 'cause they know what rides the horizon. And one day, they came 6 riders cloaked in black dust, like ghosts cut from shadow, leaving nothing but silence and blood behind them. This is their story, and the story of the lawman who followed them into hell. Six of them moving like a shadow flood, no mercy in their stride. Jude Horn led them, scarred and main, with a grin like a rattlesnake bite. Rode straight into Deadrock town, just past noon's cruel light. They hit the bank like a thunderclap, kicked the door and screamed for gold. Old man Hollis made a move, a shot rang out, now his blood runs cold. 5,000 coins in a burlap sack, hot as hellfire brim with sin. They vanished in a dust cloud thick, with the devil riding in the wind. They came with smoke and ash and fire, boots dripping mud and dark desire, left the law and God behind. Now Sheriff Klein is drawing the line. Sheriff Klein stood on the boardwalk, still had low on a stubble face, tossed his badge on the steps of the jail, said this ain't justice, it's a chase. Volunteers stepped from shops and saloons, with rifles and grit in hand. Deadrock watched them ride away into that cursed and burning land. The sun dropped low, they pushed on fast, across the dead and broken plains. A trail of hoof prints in the dust, a whisper carried on the reins. Sheriff Klein Raleigh ain't a man of words word, but he knows evil when he sees it. And he saw it clear that day in the eyes of Jude Horn and his crew, with $5,000 in stolen gold and one good man dead. Klein didn't wait for backup, he called for men and men answered. Now they ride into the wasteland, where even the vultures don't roost. The tracks grew thin by canyon's edge, where rattlesnakes and ghosts reside. Sun sank slow, the sky turned red, and shadows began to slide. And they made a camp by a dry creek bed, their nerves like taut guitar strings. Sipping coffee, cleaning guns, dreaming of bloody reckonings. We'll string 'em up from the dead oak tree, said Jenkins with a twisted smile. Make 'em beg with swollen tongues, let the vultures feast a while. They laughed and spat, told dark bone jokes, each man painting their revenge. But Raleigh sat silent, eyes like flint, thinking how this tale might end. Round the fire they dreamed of pain, of dealing death for profit's gain. But Klein just stared into the coals, there's deeper fires and broken souls. At first lights crack, they saddled up, the desert cold and cruelly wide. Their horses moved like shadows do, with Klein riding up front to guide. And in their hearts they held a vow, carved deep in smoke and sand, to bring the black dust riders down, no matter where they stand. They say the desert don't lie, but it don't always tell the truth. Either tracks twist, the wind tricks the eyes, and evil, it don't run in a straight line. When the posse split, it wasn't choice, it was necessity. But fate don't take kindly to choices made under fire. Blood was coming, the kind you can't wash off. So the sheriff split his crew. One half took the canyon trail, the other the mountain view. Klein boys rode the sharper edge, the ground was loose and steep. But Jenkins' group found shadows first and trouble buried deep. They found the gang near a twisted pine, just starting to bed for the night. Gunfire cracked like whip split bark, bullets screaming through the light. Men went down, both sides bled, the sky turned red with screams. When the smoke cleared, the outlaws lay still, but so did three good dreams. Steel met smoke in the hollow's mouth, echoes ringing north and south. We won the fight, but not the prize. No gold, just ghosts and bloodshot eyes. They dug quick graves with busted hands, crossed sticks and whispered prayers. The gold was gone, just empty sacks and buzzers circling airs. They saddled up and turned due west with vengeance still their guide, to catch the rest and end this tale where hell and justice ride. Not all devils wear horns. Some ride horses and grin when they kill. Even devils run out of road. Klein's boots were worn, and so was his soul. But he wasn't done yet. There was one more dance to play, one last breath to claim, and a whole lot of gold waiting under the dirt.
Cold till Klein found smoke in a ghost town near the cliffs. There they stood, the final three, their backs to the wind-tight grips. The Judhorn tipped his hat and sneered, "Come on, outlaw, let's dance." But Klein had no words left to spin, just gave his gun a chance. Later it was done, the last breath blown to dust. They found the gold neath the hangman's tree, buried deep in crust. The sheriff hauled it saddle bound and led the riders home, through lands where devil dared not dwell, and justice carved in stone. Deadrock, but the town feels great. Peace don't come, it just keeps the ghosts at bay. Sheriff Klein don't smile or speak, just walks the line where the silence leaks. Back to run their stores, the banker cried and paid, but Klein still rides in midnight dreams through hollow hills and graveyard shade. Went back to run their stores, the banker cried and paid, but Klein still rides in midnight dreams through hollow hills and graveyard shade. gold came back. The killers didn't Deadrock, slept quiet for a while. But justice, real justice, it don't shine like a